I'm live. Grateful day. Welcome to the 49th episode of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast. Woo! With your host, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter. I empower transitioning professionals and entrepreneurs to overcome overwhelm, to achieve balance through integrity, authenticity, and perseverance, all anchored in faith. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. All right, time for the shirt. You know, I do a shirt every Friday. So today's shirt says hustle. And then there's a 13, but it's mainly about the hustle part. All right. This shirt, or should I say the words, simply remind me to keep going no matter what challenges that come at me or my way. All right. Therefore, it's a perfect segment into what we're going to be talking about today. And today's episode is called Fearless and Unstoppable. All right. Sylvia Crawley Spann. She's going to be speaking about confidence, community, and standing tall. You guys, get ready. It is that day for me to have a special guest. It's the end of the month, so I know you guys have been waiting for this. All right. So I just wanted to let you know that as entrepreneurs, confidence is our foundation. Community is our strength, and resilience keeps us pushing forward. Our guest's journey is a powerful example of staying fearless and unstoppable. And today, she is going to inspire us to embrace our own heights to the fullest. That's what I'm ready for, okay? To the fullest. So grab your pen and your notebook because you won't want to miss this giftful insight that we're going to receive from her. Cannot wait. All right. I am honored, you guys, to introduce back again our esteemed guest, Coach Sylvia Crawley Spann. Let me just tell you a little about her in case you missed the first episode. Sylvia Crawley, a Steubenville, Ohio native, led the UNC to a national championship, and she earned a double major in communications and radio and TV motion pictures. Woo! That is so phenomenal. Her basketball career spanned 16 countries, you guys. The ABL, the WNBA, where she famously won the first women's slam dunk contest. Amazing, right? Man, she later coached at Ohio University, Boston College, and the UNC. And now she trains athletes globally. What a blessing. Already you can hear that this amazing woman is, all right? Sylvia is a public speaker, the CEO of Crowley's Creation LLC, co-founder of Monarch Magazine, and the wife to Pastor Brian Spann. He also is an amazing gentleman, you guys. Please join me in welcoming back Coach Sylvia Crawley Spann. Yes. All right. Yes. Okay.
Man,
Hi. You look beautiful.
have lighting going on here.
Just make sure because you're going in and out just a tad. It is
Okay,
just a little, I'm a little lighter, but that's okay.
there we go.
Yes. Yes.
Let there be light.
Yes, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back. I felt like on the last episode, we ran out of time. My
Yep.
life has been so extensive that it's hard to cover everything in one episode. So yes, it's good to see you
Too,
again.
and I appreciate you coming back, especially right after. So I'm thankful because it's right after Thanksgiving. So thankful that you're back. How
Yeah,
about that?
I
Yes.
cool
So,
Thanksgiving. I'm
so
super
tell
grateful.
us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm super grateful to have my dad this year. He had a really rocky year. He's
Oh,
years old. He overcame kidney stones, a UTI,
wow.
and yeah, all at the same time.
Oh, wow. So blessings to him that he's doing better
He is
then.
doing better, much better. And so we just gave him a shave. My husband shaved his beard and mustache the other day. And our theme for Thanksgiving, our dress attire was casual cute.
Oh,
Had a little polo shirt, and like this is the first time he's had on regular clothes.
oh,
Doctor, and we put some sweats on him or whatever, but just like looking nice and his beard trimmed. I said, "Dad, you look so cute." He was like,
that is such a blessing. I'm so glad he's doing well.
"Yeah,
So glad. Wow.
yeah." So I'm super grateful. And I lost my brother during the Thanksgiving holiday, so I
Oh,
just that time of the year is hard for us anyways, and so yeah, I just don't take family for granted since going through that
right.
situation. So yeah, so we're super excited to have him just sitting at the table and he's eating and joking and laughing. So it was a blessing.
Yes. And sorry for your brother's passing as well.
No problem. It's I went from just sad during the holidays, and
Yeah.
that's why we always have to remember to pray for people during the holidays. Even though we're festive and we're happy, we have to remember those because there's always a lot of deaths around the holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but so we just got to make sure that we're praying for people during that time because it could be a very lonely time for some people, a very depressing time. So I used to be one of those people where I didn't want to put up decorations. I don't want to exchange gifts. I was like, don't buy me nothing. I'm not going to buy you nothing. And then that slowly moved to just gratitude. I was just grateful for the years that I did have with my brother, grateful for the family that I do have, grateful for my own life. So it just takes time. Healing takes time.
Yeah, for sure. Totally understandable. My grandfather, my mom's father, went Christmas years ago, and she still kind of feels that way. So we try to always just keep her uplifted and things like that. It never, unfortunately, it doesn't go away. So you just keep, going and be grateful for those who are still here and things like that, like you said. So yeah, for sure.
And I didn't mean to take that. I know your show is
No,
about, but
look, this is just us being transparent and real. I'm sure everybody on here can attest to going through many things as well. So that just gives them a reminder, in my opinion, as well, to just be grateful and thankful for your current family, as well as they're always in our hearts for those who are gone. So I'm there with you. It's okay.
mhm. All right,
Yes. All
into it.
right. So I would like you to go ahead and let people know where they can, contact you again. Let's do that in the beginning.
Okay, so I actually have a whole new program that I'm super excited about. So I'm gonna put this number in the chat
Okay.
really quickly. The number is 740-757-4353. I just put it in the chat. So if you want my new book, and we'll get into it a little bit about that, but if you want that book, text the word book to that number. If
Got it.
like an autograph, a free, this is my Black Friday giveaway. So if you would like a free autograph picture of the blindfold dunk talked about in my bio, then text the word slam to that number. And if you just want to connect with me, like you just want to follow me on social media, so this is the link to my digital business card.
Okay.
So text the word connect with Sylvia to that same number. And
So can we do all three?
You can do all three if you
Okay.
want.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much for that Black Friday gift. Love it. So you guys heard it here first. Sylvia Crawley Spann, get with her.
Yes.
That's wonderful, you guys.
You don't even have to leave your house for Black Friday anymore.
I know, which is a good thing because it's snowing here in Michigan. So
and
that's good.
I want to encourage all small business owners, especially if you're just now starting a business. If there are supplies and things that you need for your company and you know you're going to need them, like some envelopes, or if you have a clothing line, your tags that are inside your clothes, or just whatever supplies that you need, fabric, whatever it is, I would recommend that you get it during Black Friday. Like, find the store that you normally would order those things from and go to their website and see if they're having a sale. And now is the time to stock up on it while it's like 30, 40. People are having like crazy sales right now.
That's a good idea.
So, yeah, take advantage of those sales, even if you have to put it on a credit card and pay it off later. But these are things you know you're going to need. You're going to get it at a cheaper rate. Everybody has some type of Black Friday offer. So, yep, get
That's
out.
wonderful.
Buy Black, buy small business, and buy Black.
Yes.
So you wouldn't believe the amount of dollars that we as African Americans are buying today, just today alone. So let's spread some of that love to each other. Let's support one another. Let's keep it in house. You know what I mean? Like, other cultures do that.
Yeah.
You know, if they're Korean, I played in Korea. Mm-hmm. If it's Korean, they're going to support each other.
Yeah.
You know, they're supporting each other. They'll all live in one house. And then as they start their businesses, they'll move out, and then everybody will help that one business. Like, they will help them build their building, stock their shelves. Everybody gives them free labor for like a year, and then they're off and running. And then they go to the next one, and then everybody pours into that one. But we're the only culture that does not do that. Why do that? Like, Africans do that. Mm-hmm. But Americans don't do that, and so I just want to encourage everybody, like, let's support each other.
Yes, that is amazing. So glad you said that also. Speaking of that, since she just put that out there, you guys, yes, definitely text that number, the 740-757-4353 for that free book. Why you putting book or Sam, right?
Free autograph picture.
The free autograph picture, sorry.
The book is
to connect with Sylvia.
I am having a Black Friday sale on
for
the book.
Okay.
Go get the book. And then if you just want to connect with me, type connect with Sylvia.
Auto picture. Wonderful.
Lead them to think they're getting a free book, and they get to the site and it's not free.
Autograph. The free autograph picture is like the book, in my opinion. It's priceless. But yes.
Yeah, so the book is it's done through Amazon, but I have an opinion about Amazon, so I want you guys to kind of go through me to get the book.
Got it. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, so what I was saying is, since she just said that about supporting other Black African Americans, obviously I'm one, y'all, and I appreciate all that have already done so, because you guys are so gracious and you do support. So thankful for that. But please, Christmas is coming up. You know I ship nationally with my pound cakes, you guys. That's one of my 3 businesses. Please go to rosemaryspoundcakes.com.
Wait, let me write.
That's it. In order. There you go. You're going to get the taste of heaven, as well as, that I am very well loved and supportive as well. So I'd appreciate you.
Are you having a Black Friday sale?
Not this time, but I'm going to be having something for.
Okay. I'm ordering the red velvet cake.
Oh, well, that's a specialty, but okay.
I forgot.
You talk to me directly about that. Okay. I did make one for actually a person who's on here now, so they can attest how good it was, that red velvet cake.
I'll see what you have, though. I don't want you to have to do anything special.
Yeah, no, that was a specialty. They wanted specialty, so it was okay. Hey. All right. So you guys, let's get started with the podcast here. To guide our discussion, here are some giftful questions that I'm eager to continue exploring with our esteemed guest, Coach Sylvia Crawley Spann. All right, so here's the first one. Giftful question number one, playbook confidence. So, Sylvia, congratulations on becoming a best-selling author. Your playbook has clearly spoken to many people. Can you share one or two key strategies from the book that helped you stay fearless and unstoppable as an entrepreneur, both on and off the court?
Okay. One of the strategies, there's lots of strategies in the book, guys, by the way. And the strategies, if you get the ebook, there's a clickable link that takes you to a video so that you can see the story that I'm talking about. If you get the paperback, there's a QR code that you can scan that takes you there, which I love. I love that part about the book. I can't wait for you guys to click on it and see what I put in there. But one of my favorite ones is learn from losses. Sometimes you win, Jenée, and sometimes you learn. A lot of people say sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But
Right.
if you learn from the loss, it's never a loss. You learn. So sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And so in the book, I actually jotted down like 3 or 4 losses that I've encountered over my lifespan. And every time I do a speech, when I do a speaking engagement for someone, I pull out the one that's relevant for that target audience. And so I just talked about how I won a bronze medal, and that picture is like in the book too. And so a lot of people say, like, you shouldn't tell people about the bronze medal. Like, take that off your bio. You should just, I mean, you're a multi-gold medalist. Talk about the gold medals. And I will never do that. Like, I literally look at, I literally have used the bronze medal more than any other medal. Like, it's taught me more than the other ones. And what it taught me is that when I won the bronze medal, I'll never forget this day, Jenée. I had to when they put, you know how you step on the
Mm-hmm.
podium. This was for the Pan American Games, right? These were some of the games that lead into the Olympics, right? And you have to win these games to even qualify for the Olympics. And so we had to get on the platform, and obviously we're not gold. So to hear somebody else's anthem play before our national anthem was just like cutting my heart, right? And to see someone's flag raise above the United States flag, like, we didn't sign up for the bronze. We signed up for gold. And when I had to like put my head down for them to put the medal on me, I was literally crying,
Oh,
crying so hard. Like, I almost fell off the podium.
no.
I was so disappointed because I wanted gold. And we were looking forward to the gold medal game, so much so that we looked past our opponents. We just felt like, all right, as soon as we beat them, then we had our eyes on the gold medal game, and we just overlooked, we did not respect our opponents. We looked up and we were down by 10. Like, oh shoot, we're losing. And there was nothing we could do to come back. Like, the crowd was in it, the referee, everything was shifted in their favor. And we tried our hardest, and that buzzer went off and we did not win.
Oh.
That medal, the lesson that I learned from that is to never take your opponent lightly. Never moment, then never take it for granted. You know what I mean? Even now as a public speaker, if I have a speech, it could be a speech that I've done 1,000 times. I'm still going to practice. I'm still going to review my notes. I'm not going to take that moment lightly. I'm grateful for that opportunity to be there. You know what I mean? I'm there front and center, present in the moment. That's what that bronze medal reminds me of. If it wasn't for the bronze medal, I would never be a multi-gold medalist. The next
Mm.
time I competed for the United States, oh, listen, I did my own scouting report. Normally the coaches do it. They present it to you and they say, Sylvia, you're guarding number 5. And you got to make sure that you take away her left hand because she's a lefty and whatever it is. No, I already knew it. I already did my scouting report. Then the coaches gave me theirs, and then I could match up to see if I was correct with mine. But, it just taught me, like, never take for granted the moment that you have. You know what I mean? What an honor it is to play for the United States of America, and we learned, Jenée, like here's the worst part. In the locker room, we learned that we were the first team to ever win the bronze. We had always won the gold for the Pan Am game. We broke
Mm.
a record to not win gold. Like,
Wow.
I felt like complete trash. But when you learn from lessons, and this is like champions and elite players, they understand this. When you learn from lessons and you use them as stepping stones instead of roadblocks,
Mm-hmm.
weigh the fear of failure, and you start to welcome lessons as they come. So you're not afraid to lose because you understand, like, it's not a loss. This is the same way. This is the same reason why Steph Curry can miss 10 shots in a row, like boop, boop, boop. And on the last shot of the game, he will shoot that shot with confidence and make it as if he didn't miss the last 10. You know why? Because he understands, if I make it, we win.
Mm-hmm.
If I miss it, I'm just gonna go watch film, see what the other team did to keep me from scoring, and then the next time I get this opportunity, and he's gonna practice and put himself in that situation, same situation, countless times over and over again, and then the next time he's gonna make it, and they're gonna win. And his coach would call his number 15 times over. Like, his coach has no regrets that he called him for that last shot, even though he missed the last 10, because he knows Curry is going to go to the film room, watch it, go to the court, reenact it, and then the game, he will call his number again, and he'll shoot that last shot with confidence and make it,
Yes.
because he understands that he's going to learn from his lessons.
That is so good. I'm always telling my listeners that as well. Just don't, that's not the end. So just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. Thank you for that. Now, what is the title of the book and how can people get it?
So the book is called The Confidence Playbook. And I wrote this book, Jenée, because I didn't always start out very confident in basketball. Like, you read my resume, and it's pretty impressive, right? Mm-hmm. But I've come from some humble beginnings in basketball. Like, I didn't start playing until I was in the 7th grade, and I literally shot at the wrong basket in my very first game. Was 0-2 for a long time, and every time I looked at the scoreboard, I was like, "There's only 2 points scored in this whole game, and it's by me for the wrong team." Like, what?
Oh.
So I started out really bad, and so games after that, I was super nervous that I was just gonna mess up. So I was playing to not make mistakes, and that's a bad space to be in. You know what I mean? I was playing to not mess up instead of playing to win. And so I had to overcome that. And there's been countless times where I really had to overcome a lot of voices, from coaches, from fans, from different people that were saying negative things to me. And I internalized that and started saying negative things to myself. I had negative self-talk. And so I had to silence those voices internally and externally. And over the years, I've kind of put together a playbook that I think is like, my story is just basketball, but it's applicable to any area of life, any business, any person, no matter what it is you're doing. And I use it. I use it as a wife. I use it as a caretaker to my parents. I use it as an entrepreneur, a speaker, every area of my life. So I'm excited to offer this to people. And a lot of people feel like, I don't really need a book about confidence, but I know somebody who does. I was just in Nebraska speaking, and I said, "Raise your hand if you've ever been nervous before an interview." People were like,
Yeah.
"Almost." And I said, "Raise your hand if you've ever been nervous before taking a huge exam like SAT, ACT." That's everybody, right? Raise
Yeah.
your hand if you get nervous before speaking in front of large crowds. I'm a public speaker. I speak in front of thousands of people all the time, but I get nervous every single time. Raise your hand if you've ever played a sport and you got nervous before the game. Like, you just had nervous jitters, butterflies, bubble guts, you know. Everybody experiences this. Even not just when you were younger, you still have moments right now where you get nervous. You don't speak with confidence, or you don't feel confident before you do something.
Yeah.
And So this book is something that you can pull out over and over again when you have something that you have to do and you're feeling like anxious and you're feeling anxiety. Um, there's somebody putting something in the chat saying
Yeah,
they played with me in the pandemic. So yeah, so
their
that's why I'm excited
mother did as well. Yes.
to send this book out because it's something that everybody needs. So like I said, you can text the word book and I put the number in the chat. You may have to pin it, Jenée, but it's 740-575-4353. And that's the number. If you text book, that's how you can get the book.
575. Good to okay, yeah, because I had 757. So 575.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. 740-575-4353.
Yep. That's it.
Right. Thank you for that. Oh, all right. Oh, I was going to tell you, don't feel bad about shooting for the wrong team because when you're like, when you say seventh grade, what?
Seventh grade. Yes.
Don't feel bad because I used to run track, and how about on the relay team? I'm running, and it was one of my first meets. I ran into the other person's lane. You know, that's an automatic you're out.
Oh my goodness.
So you didn't do it. We all been there in some way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So we're moving on to giftful question number 2.
Okay.
And it is titled Being Talented and Tall with Confidence. All right. So the number is right there, by the way. Actually, it should be 575. So if you could switch that, that'd be good. It's 740-575-43453. So if you could just switch that to 575, I'd appreciate that. All right. So the question is, you've often spoken about just unique challenges and the joys of being 6'5", right? So how did you develop like the confidence to embrace your height, especially as a young woman? And how has that like shaped your journey as an entrepreneur and a leader?
That's a three-part question.
That's one.
Take it one step at a time. You might have to remind me of like,
Okay, no problem.
um so let me just start by saying my parents, they messed up and did something really right with me as well as with my siblings. But by the time I was age 2, I was in dancing school. So I took tap, ballet, jazz, and acrobats. Acrobats is gymnastics without the mats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes you fearless because you fall in acrobats and hit your head on the. I mean, we have hardwood floors, so you hit your head on the floor. They just rubbed your head and got you up and made you do it immediately, so you had no fear, right? So that kind of made me fearless. I also I took piano lessons at 3 because I have really long fingers. I was in modeling school by age 5. I took karate. So my parents just exposed me to a lot of things, but they really looked for things that would help bring self-esteem for me because I was really tall as a child. Like I went to school when I was 4 and I was like one of the tallest. Like when we went to recess, you got to line up small as the tallest. I was at the back of the line as a 4-year-old, right? And so my mom was like, listen, this kid's going to be a giant if we send her to school when she's 5 or 6. Like I was supposed to go to school when I was 6 because of where my birthday fell. So I went early and but yeah, I was modeling. I was in dancing school, so I was graceful, so those things like really made me proud to be tall. And then I started sports in the 7th grade. And so I went from like just wishing I was like everybody else's height and kind of slouching down a little bit to when I started playing basketball, everybody was like, I wish I was tall like you because you're right at the basket. And I could hit it off the backboard and make a layup, And so now all of a sudden the tables have turned and everybody's envious of me, right? And so, and what that taught me is everybody wants to be something that they're not. Like here I am slouching in my school pictures trying to be the same size as everybody else, but then they're wishing they could be tall like me, right? And who are like thick want to be thin, and I was thin my whole life, wanting to be thick, or people with short hair want to get weaved and make their hair long, and people with long hair always wanted their hair cut so they could have it short. And people who are, dark are trying to use some fade cream and filters on Snapchat to look light, and people who are light are tanning to look dark. Like, everybody wants to be something that they're not, and really we should all just kind of embrace who you are, because that is your secret sauce,
Yeah.
right? There's nobody that can do what you do the way you do it. So let them copy you. So what? They could copy what I'm trying to do all day long. You know what I mean? Because there's not but 1'6'5" Sylvia Crawley
Yeah.
Spann in the world. Same background that I had, with the same parents and the upbringing. I'm the only person that can do it like this. So you can try, but you're always going to come in second, copying somebody else. When you are in your own lane, doing what you do well, focusing on your strengths. And that's another one of my strategies. Focus on your strengths, because when you do that, there is no competition for you.
Mm-hmm.
Will always come in first place at being you, right? And so that's one of the things that gave me confidence, is that I was doing a lot of things that made me feel confident about who I am, right? So somebody else who's shorter could get involved in gymnastics or other things, that made them feel proud of their height, that gave them an advantage, because now you got short twitch fiber legs, So find those things that esteem who you are. And then what was part two? What was B?
You actually answered it all.
Oh, okay.
You did, because that was what helped you to shape your journey as an entrepreneur and a leader. But you spoke about things, so you certainly answered it. Unless you want to, no,
No, I nailed it.
you definitely nailed it. That's very good. So appreciative of that. I honestly feel the same way as you do. I always say, what's for me already is. No one can take it. So. And same for you. What's for you and destined for you is going to be in divine order and for you. And that's how I feel about me too. So totally get it. So good.
And that's
All right.
good
So,
advice for kids too.
yeah.
Get your kids involved. If you have a kid, like I was a little hyper kid, they didn't have all these diagnoses that they do right now. So nobody diagnosed me as like ADD or ADHD or anything like that. I just was like a hyper kid with tons of energy. My mom was like, we got to get her involved in some stuff so that she won't be seen as a mischievous child, but like, this energy is a positive thing. Like, get on that court and just run as much as you want to, so that you'll be tired when you come home and go to sleep, right? But if you have a child that is always like debating with you, like you say, clean your room, and they want to know why. They're always talking back. Like, that child might need to be put on a debate team,
Right.
because really their future might be as an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, whatever your child is like showing signs of, like, embrace that, nurture that, because that's their gift. That could be their gift, right? And so put them in things where they won't feel bad about talking so much or debating all the time or seeming like they're confrontational, but put them in something where they can excel in that area and use that for good. My parents were the best at that. They really were. And when they saw other kids in the neighborhood or my cousins stuff, they would tell their parents, like, she need to be in such and such, you need her, so use that for yourself as well as for your kids
Yes.
or the next
That
generation family.
that I agree with that as well. My mom was the same way with me. I was all that person, always on the go and social butterfly and just that type of person. So she put me in from swimming when I would always try to go to the pool without her at 2 years old, by the way, and all of that. So she was like, "Oh no, she need to get some swimming lessons because she gonna get in there regardless." So yes, it's definitely the way to go. See through your eyes to your kids of what they're doing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. All right. Okay, so giftful question number 3. Tall Girls United. All right. So as the CEO of Tall Girls United, you've created like a powerful space for like tall women to feel seen and celebrated, right? So what inspired you to actually start the organization, and what impact do you hope, that others will gain from it?
Um, what prompted me to start Tall Girls United is because I alluded to it earlier. In the sixth grade, I was 6 feet with a size 12 men's shoe.
Mm,
So I was taller than the girls. I was taller than the boys. I was taller than my teachers, right? And so we started Tall Girls United. It's twofold. Our mission is twofold. One, we want to unite all the tall girl organizations, brands, clothing lines. There's tons of them out there now. Like when I was growing up, we had maybe one once I got to college. And those clothes were for like older ladies. It wasn't like cool, hip, trendy clothes for young people. And so we just had to make it work or wear boys' jeans or something like that, which if you were feminine, you didn't want to wear you didn't want to wear men's clothes, right? And so now we want to empower all of these brands. We want to see them around for a very long time. And so we just unite them. We don't want them competing against each other. Like there's room for all of us to be great, right? So that's one of the purposes to unite all tall girls 6 feet and up.
mm,
Second, the second part of the mission is to mentor young girls who, like me, are oftentimes the tallest in their class, and even in my case, their school, and their whole school, or in their whole city, even. And just like pair them up with a senior tall woman and just kind of whisper in their ear to say, hey, stand up straight, never slouch for them, never dull yourself down for them. Forget the boys if they don't ask you to the prom. They'll regret it 20 years from now when you're posting pictures on Throwback Thursday and you're not aging. You know what I mean? Like you're
so
still tall and lean and because a lot of times like when you're tall and lean, you don't have the like I didn't have the hips and the butt and the boobs and guys who are growing up in their puberty years, like those are things that they're attracted to. And so I always felt like, well, they don't want me. I was
mm,
pancake. And so now in my 40s and 50s, I'm just starting to develop. Like I'm just getting hips. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm aging like fine wine. So I
love
was just always a late bloomer. And so we want to whisper in those girls' ears because during like when you're 11, 12, and 13, those are like your preteen kind of ages and going through puberty. You got pimples on your face. Like self-esteem for girls is crazy during those ages. So imagine being the tallest girl in your school and navigating through puberty, or like you're wondering if the boys are going to ask you to the like middle school dance or the high school prom or this or that. So we just want to just whisper in their ear like, listen, there's nothing wrong with you. God doesn't make mistakes. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And just encourage them through their journey, because we all of this, the older tall girls, we navigated through that by ourselves. And
it.
fortunately for me, I played on a basketball team where I met other tall girls. And when we shared our stories, they were very similar. They had the same story as I did. But we went in our separate high schools by ourselves, feeling very alone, like you're the only one. You know, now we're here. We don't want this generation, like Gen Zs, we don't want them to feel alone. They don't have to. They have us.
That's right.
We wish the people before us would have did this for us, but they didn't. You know what I mean? So now we want to make it better for the people behind us. So I love, we have a wellness, wealth, and winning conference every year at the Women's Final Four for women who are 6 feet and up.
That's wonderful.
We're starting a tall girl modeling agency, modeling and influencer agency called Elevate.
Hmm.
So yeah, we want to teach tall models, because if you try, like I modeled, and when I got a certain height, because they always say like you have to be tall and thin to model, so they want you to be about 5'10", 5'8" to 5'10". But if you're over that, you're too tall.
Mm.
I went to a fashion show and they had nothing to fit me. So I wore a dress, one dress. Other people who were average height, all the clothes fit them because they got them from the Gap, Banana Republic. All the stores make clothes for the average size person. Well, There's nothing that fits me in the mall. Nothing. All of my are custom. All of my suits, I've made them. Like they're exclusive, handmade, or I have tailors that manufacture my stuff and they made them. But it's not from the mall. So I can't be in the mall fashion show or any other kind of average fashion show. So we put on our own fashion shows. We have all the tall girl brands with inseams that are 36 and up. I have a 38.5 inch inseam. Like I'm all legs. Sitting down, Jenée, we're the same height.
Wow.
When I get up, like, dang, I didn't know you were that tall. So we're so excited about Tall Girls United. Our next conference is April 3rd through the 6th in Tampa. So Tampa's where the next women's Final Four is at. So we will do our whole conference from Thursday to Sunday there. We also have a presence at the WNBA All-Star Game every year. And so this next one will be in Indianapolis, and we will be there in a fashion show as well. So super excited. We've got a ton of projects coming up for Tall Girls United, but I'm most excited about the Tall Girl Modeling and Influencer Agency because I mean, we've already pitched to a reality. We want to do a reality TV show, so we pitched to some networks about that.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to show that. Like, if you think about America's Next Top Model, they have shown petite models. They've done it for male models. They've done it for plus size models. They've done it for a college edition. Everybody except for tall girls.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an untapped market, and we've been trademarked. So I feel good about talking about this publicly now. I've been keeping it under wraps for a long time, but so we're trademarked, and we have an online course so people can join from all over the country. We have not launched that yet, but it's in the works right now. We're super excited about it, and the graduation for this modeling school will be at our fashion show that's at the Women's Final Four. It's called the Tip Off Fashion Show. So we're super excited about that.
That is wonderful. And I actually had that as part of the next question, but it was a two. So that's okay. That's great that you shared because I'm going to add just the first part of it. That is so great that you shared. You know what? There's also what I haven't seen personally is people that are my size. So they haven't done anything. So if you're not a 0, a 1, 2, 3, or 4 sizes, maybe 6, then you've got what I would say my size is like that in between size. No one's done that either because we weren't small enough to be that model, or we weren't tall enough, 5'9" and up to be that model. So there's that in between that hasn't been touched either, just so you know.
Well, I often say, my grandmother once told me this. She said, if there's something that bothers you about the world, there's a reason why it bothers you, specifically you. And so you've got two choices. You can complain like everybody else, or you can roll your sleeves and change it. You know what I mean? So what bothers me is that they don't cater to tall women, right? So I'm not going to complain about it. I'm changing that.
Yeah.
So if you want something changed about zeros, ones, and twos,
well, they're helped already, like because they're on them runways and slim and all that. So if anybody wants to collaborate between the sizes of what would it be? I'm thinking like 8 and 12. That's where I'm at. So feel free to reach out. No, by all means.
leave that up to you.
Wonderful. All right. So giftful question number 4. Event spotlight the women's Final Four. Yeah, so your recent event, the women's Final Four in Cleveland, I'm sure was incredible, right? So what were some of the highlights that you witnessed by being part of such an iconic experience?
Wow. So we'll start with we had a meet and greet, and that was on Thursday. And that was just very casual. You know what I mean? We had some finger foods that you can grab, some drinks and stuff like that. It was right in the lobby of the host hotel. And we had like Brittany Griner stop through. We had Jenée Hudson, who is on ESPN. She came through. We had several WNBA players came by and took pictures with us. And then we had some of the designers that were in the fashion show. They came. So everybody got to network at that. So that was fun. No pressure. Like I wasn't stressed out for that. But then the brunch, this is where we are kind of like we really wanted to go well. So it's hard for me to even eat at the brunch, but the brunch was amazing. This was the first year where we did stations for the food. Normally we have like a buffet spread and you just get your plate and the caterer as you go down the row. Well, this time we had like shrimp and grits at a station, but it was decorated like so cute. And the shrimp and grits were delicious. I was like, I hope it tastes as good as everything looks. Then there was another station with like chicken and waffles, and there was another station with like not mimosas, but they're what is it called when it's non-alcoholic? It's
Like the daiquiris and stuff,
it's
or
like a mimosa without the alcohol. There's a name for it, but anyways, alcoholless,
right, right.
and then so there were
Non-alcoholic. I mean,
all something no. Anyways, but there were different stations where you can go and get food, and it was everything was delicious, right? So, and then we had a panel discussion for in the categories of wellness, wealth, and winning. And we
someone
also had, go ahead,
mocktail. Someone said mocktail.
mocktails.
Thank
Yeah, that's what we had.
you,
Yeah,
Tennille. The
mocktails.
cat.
You could kind of like experiment and make your own mocktail and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a TGU talk, so kind of like a TED talk, but we had the letters for Tall Girls United, the TGU. They were like maybe like 5 feet tall with the little lights inside. And so we had Yolanda Moore did a TGU talk, and her topic was pivot. And she used pivot as an acronym, and the P stood for something, the I, the V, the O, the T. It was outstanding. Like I was keeping notes. Like she's a dynamic speaker. If you've ever you should follow her, Yolanda Moore. She played in the WNBA for Houston Comets, and she's a public speaker. Now she's on commentating, but she was dynamic. And then she led our panel discussion. So that was a highlight. But then the fashion show, baby, let me tell you. So I got to at the fashion show, so I'm biased, but it was pretty lit. So we were sponsored by LED Furniture. So we had a LED runway that lit up and it could flash different colors. We kept it white when the models were on the walkway because the runway, because for picture's sake, it took the best picture. Between models. So it's the tip off fashion show. So we had a first quarter designer, second quarter designer, a halftime show, third and fourth quarter designer, and overtime, right? So in between the quarter designers, we flashed the runway different colors and stuff like that, just so people could know, like, listen, this runway could do tricks, right? But it was amazing. Like the models, they model for free, y'all. Let me just tell you, we didn't have money to pay them. And we let them know up front, like, this is, and some of them got from modeling agencies. So they were very experienced, some of them, right? They didn't care. Jenée, I said, listen, this is a sold out Final Four game, and there's a lunar eclipse that's coming to Cleveland. So all the hotels were booked. I was like, if they haven't booked their hotel by now, they're not coming. So I sent out an email to all the models and I said, listen, everything is sold out. So I need to know if you're from Cleveland or in close proximity to Cleveland, or you got family members in Cleveland that you could stay with. And that's going to like help us base our decision on who's going to model and who's not. And they said, Miss Sylvia, I will sleep in my car if I have to for this opportunity.
Wow.
And some of them did. They slept in their cars. So I was like, oh my gosh. But at the end of the fashion show, there were people who were like crying because they felt like, I have found my tribe. There are other tall women. There are clothes that fit me. Like clothes were dragging on the ground.
That's a blessing.
Normally, that's not a good thing at a fashion show. But for tall women who have high waters our whole lives and got picked on and bullied about wearing floods and high water pants, to have some pants dragging on a runway, people were like, oh my goodness. It was crazy. After the show, all the models like went out to a bar and like they went out together and kicked it. Like we did a complete tall girl takeover of Cleveland. Like we took over the city. We had on heels, messy buns on top of our, like I was in a messy bun. I'm 7'5". Okay. Wrap your mind on that. Now wrap your mind with me and a whole tribe of women that tall and confident and like, yeah, we were just, it was amazing. It was just big girl energy in the place. And so all of the models would do it again, like 10 times over. And that's what made us feel like, you know what, there's room for a tall girl agency, because where do they go? Like they were hungry for this experience because there is no other place for them to do that. So were just some of the highlights, but we had an amazing time. Afterwards, I'm absolutely exhausted. I mean, I give it every single thing I got. I laid it out. I laid it out there for the conference. So I literally take like a week hiatus, like out sabbatical leave. I don't answer my phone. I'm just drained because, and this is how you know when you are just operating in your purpose and when you are providing so much value for people, because people pull virtue from you. You know what I mean? As a speaker or when I'm doing my events, they're just pulling virtue and it will zap you. Like you, at the end of the day, you'll be like drained because they took everything you had. And so that's how I know, like, okay, they really received this. They really received this event or my speech or whatever the case may be, because I am exhausted. I got nothing left to give. I gave it all.
That's wonderful. But that just shows people to give your all no matter what. So that is amazing. That's a story.
That's where my husband comes in. My husband is a pastor, and so he's always praying over me.
Yes.
God will replenish me, and that I would get all my energy back. So he's always covering me in prayer, because you can just, there's all kind of spirits out there that are trying to attach themselves and stuff like that. And so he's always just like keeping me prayed up and super supportive of women's sports and Tall Girls United and everything that I do. He's always right there, and he's our photographer for Tall Girls United for our event. He's our photographer. So he's front and center on the runway, and he's capturing every single pose. And so we have like a dress rehearsal, and we tell them like, this is where you got to stop so that you can get that picture. And we're sponsored by Monarch Magazine. And so we were kind of, I think we weren't quite centerfold, but we had a full spread in the magazine. But we had some pictures, like we nailed it with the pictures, because the models like took such good direction from the photographer of where they needed to stop and how he was going to capture the pictures. And so like even as they turn, they use that as an opportunity to catch like so many different angles in their pictures. But it was amazing.
And it does help also. He's tall as well, so he don't have to be between people. He's literally like right there.
He's 6'5" as well. And I say, because we're the same height, so I'm always like, babe, should I wear these shoes and they're flats, or these shoes and they're heels? He always picks the heels. Always. Yeah. So he's just like, I don't care if you're gonna be taller than me. I know, like, we know we're the same height, and everybody that. But he just, if the heels make the outfit, he always picks the heels, which I love. I love that, because some
he like whatever. That's great.
Women are taller than them, so they would pick the flat so that they could be taller or whatever. But no, not they. He's just like,
great. That's amazing. All right, so we're at the last question, but giftful question number 5: a champion's legacy. See how I put that champion there, because you are a champion. Okay, so you've had such a remarkable career, from winning a national championship to making history with the first women's slam dunk contest. That is huge and amazing. Okay, but what lessons from your journey do you hope to just pass on to the next generation of just athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders?
First of all, let me just say it's the 30th year of the national championship.
Yeah.
Just got upgraded on our rings. We got some blue ice on the sides. You should see my first ring. It is super small in comparison to this. But what lessons from my journey would I pass on to the next generation? I think I'm doing that. Like I have a slam signature program. Because I won the slam dunk contest blindfolded, I kind of play off of that acronym. And so the S stands for self-confidence, which is why I wrote the confidence playbook. The L stands for leadership. Excuse me. The A stands for accountability, and the M stands for mindset. So I travel all across the country, Jenée, talking to athletic and corporate teams about the topics, because I feel like you can have the most talented team in the world, but if you lack those four things, it's hard to consistently win. It's hard to consistently do well, not just on the court or not just in your corporation, but in life. It's kind of use my athletic background to really teach life lessons, but really what I'm doing is igniting athletes. Term athletes. I think this generation is learning how to follow. Like we follow each other on social media every day. We're following, we're scrolling, especially during the holidays. Everybody's off. So people are just scrolling, watching videos all day long. Following people, and they're liking and they're sharing and they're copying. But there's very few people that's teaching this generation how to lead. That was something that I desperately needed. Like because I was tall, I think initially people just followed my lead in my neighborhood with my friends and stuff like that. But nobody taught me how to lead, and I mishandled the responsibility of leadership. And I feel like I hurt a lot of people because I thought to lead, I felt like, oh, people following me so I get to tell people what to do and they're going to do it. And for me, leadership meant if we're going to play house, I'm the mom, you're the kid, go get your switch, go find the switch and take a nap. If I see your eyes open, you getting a whooping. That's what leadership meant to me. If leadership meant if we're playing school, I'm the teacher, you're the student, you're getting a SWAT. Hospital, I'm the doctor, you're the patient, you got the flu, I got this needle, I'm gonna give you a shot. You know, like that's what leadership meant to me. Like I get to boss everybody around, right? It wasn't until I went to college and I played for an incredible coach. Her name was Sylvia Crawley, and she taught me how to lead. She, she appointed me a captain. And we voted for captains, and I was like, don't nobody vote. I don't want to be a captain. I don't want to be the first at practice. I don't want to be on time. I don't want to be responsible for nothing. Don't vote for me. And somehow I ended up a captain. So she used to meet with me, and she would say, all right, listen, today, if we don't get a drill done, Sylvia, I want you to say, Coach, can we have a huddle? And then get everybody in that huddle and get people straightened out. You're a senior. You know how the drill should be run. So sure enough, we go to practice that day and we do a drill and we don't make it. And I said, Coach, can we have a huddle? She said, absolutely. I was waiting for somebody to step up and do that. And I'm thinking like, you told me to do that. I got in a huddle and I was like, guys, if you're fast, get in the first lane. If you know you're not fast, get in the second lane. And the people who are like the best passers, get in this lane. So you get over here. And I was like, all right, we're together on three, 1, 2, 3, together. And then we go out there and we finish the drill. And she's like, we have great leadership today. Sylvia Crawley, that was a good job. So she empowered me as a leader. Now my peers are starting to see like, oh, that works. So now they're more prone to follow me, right? So now I'm using my leadership and my voice in a positive way. Prior to that, I'm going to lead everybody to the club. I'm going to lead everybody to do something that we ain't got no business, right? But now I'm invested. Like, she's giving me a task and I go do it. And then she empowered me and it worked. And then I do it again. So I led my team to a national championship, right? And so because I had somebody invest their time and took the time to teach me that leadership means to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ was the greatest leader of all times, whether you believe or not. You know what I mean? But he he took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed the multitudes.
Mm.
Put some mud on a blind man and let him see. He did, he turned the water into wine. He was serving. And in turn, people follow him.
Yes.
To this very day, we're still following him, right? Greatest leader of all times. So to lead means to serve. Like, how can you serve others? And when you find a service for the world, that's when your business will explode. If there's a problem and you find a solution and you serve that to the people, they will follow you. They will buy it. They will buy in with whatever it is that you're doing. Right. So this is, I want to, for this next generation or generations after me, that's the legacy I want to leave. I want to ignite athletes all over the world, not just in athletics either. Like I've grown beyond that too. I'm now doing corporations, but I want to ignite leadership really. And so I have, like, I can go on and on and on about leadership. I talk about that in my speech. That will obviously be my next book. So I started with confidence because that S in SLAM stands for self-confidence, but the L stands for leadership. So that's where I'm headed next with my next book. But that's definitely a legacy that I want to leave, because if I can reach young people and teach them how to lead, then about all the people that they will lead. Those are all my
Yeah.
seeds. You know, I want to be fruitful. I want to plant in good soil. You know what I mean? And so when you do that, and then those leaders are dispatched, like, that's how you change the world. You
Yeah.
think, like, I'm just one person. I can't change the world. Yes, I can. If I can ignite leaders across the country, then they're going to lead other people. And then they're going to lead other people. And that's how one person can change the world.
Yes. Kids are our future, so for sure.
Whitney Houston tried to tell us,
Yes.
teach them well, let them lead the way.
Yep. So important. So wonderful for this time. Man, I am so grateful to have had Coach, you guys, Sylvia Crawley Spann, here back again a second time for our special guest today, you guys. And Thanksgiving blessings is how I see it. Because the day after Thanksgiving, man, so fabulous. Anything else that you would love to tell the people? I feel like you just did that as far as just that encouragement, things like that. You guys, if you were encouraged, put it in the chat. Value whatever you felt. So amazing. So amazing.
Yeah,
Anything?
lastly, I want to say, you guys support Jenée in this show. She's on here faithfully. She's prepared. She sent my questions ahead of time. Like, this is not just spirit of moment where she's making stuff up. Like, she really puts a lot of her heart, time, and dedication into this. So support her, like, share, whatever you can do. I just voted for you. Did you win? Are the tallies in yet?
For the cake competition. That's I'm in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I'm top 5. Yes, that just came through yesterday. I think they told me so on Thursday. So keep voting, please.
How people can vote for you. I'll cast my vote. I've cast my vote like 3 times already. So I'm gonna vote again.
You can vote every day for free, you guys, and you can donate. The donations they're $1 a vote. If you do want to do that, that goes towards cancer research. We always need ongoing cancer research. That's for sure. So yeah. So Rosemary's Pound at Rosemary's Pound Cakes on Instagram. You can go there and get the information. All of that. So
Okay. Well,
amazing.
I just want to thank you for being our uplifter, for always being, you're human. So I know you got to go through things where you're sad, where you're tired, where you're upset, but you still, like, turn it on, give us all the energy that you have to uplift everybody, and just to make sure that everybody is being grateful and having a good day. So thank you for that. And everybody guys, please support this podcast. Please support what she's doing, because it's positive, you know. So there's always something in it. You can always learn from different people. She has different guests on here, so there's always something positive that you can take from that. Keep notes and share that message and share that word. So thank you for being. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that so very much. I always say, even an uplifter deserves to be uplifted. We need uplifting too. So thank you so much for that.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Talk soon. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye. All right, you guys, I'm going to continue on. How amazing was that? Oh, such a blessing, you guys, to have her on a second time. I believe her first one was when I did the, don't quote, 36th episode, I believe. I do have my VA on the chat, so he can put that into the chat and everything. So you can see part 1 with Sylvia. All right. He'll put the number of episode that was in the chat for me. But we're going to keep going to the end here. I wanted to obviously give you a few more gifts and things like that, as you seem to like. And I do appreciate you for loving them, by the way. So let's just remember, though, to follow and put to action Coach Sylvia Crawley Spann's wise suggestions. But also, here are the 5 giftful and actionable. I'm all about action when it comes to things, right? Tips of my own that I wanted to give to you for your confidence, community, and resilience, kind of like we just spoke to Sylvia about. All right. So they're very short, but gift number 1 from me is build confidence from within. Kind of like we spoke about with Sylvia today. Confidence starts with knowing your unique strengths, right? So just take time to recognize what you bring to the table. Again, this was mentioned, right? And it's something that no one else does, which is what's important about that. And entrepreneurs should see their actual unique qualities as assets, not obstacles. All right. And to help us get started, though, to give you a couple suggestions, start like a confidence journal. I've done this once before, and it was a huge help for me, especially trying to run 3 businesses. It was a confidence journal where you simply document like the daily or the weekly accomplishments. All right. No matter how small that you feel like they are, start a confidence journal. All right. And then the second one that you could do for this is simply just identify one area of your business where you feel less confident and focus on ways to improve it. Like for my speaking business, I personally did that. Huge difference. As you can see, I've got amazing guests on the podcast at the end of the month, as well as I try and give you guys valuable just insights and steps to get to the next level during your journeys in your life and your careers, right? So very, very important. Again, I had a fear of speaking at one point, like 2 years ago, even though I have a background in human resources on the executive staff, you guys, 20 plus years. Who knew? I used to speak there all the time, but it was just different when it came to my personal and sharing now with you all. But I've surpassed that as well. So here I am with a podcast, number 49 at that. So take it from me. It is challenging sometimes, but you can do it. All right. All right. So gift number 2 is embrace authenticity in your actual brand and leadership. Now, those who know me, I'm all about integrity. Say you're going to do something, do it. If you can't, at least just let the person know, or try to help in a different way, right? So that authenticity is so very important because it reflects just on your audience and your clients within your businesses or through life, right? The people that you meet. Therefore, you know, they want to see the real you for the most part, including your ups and downs. Now, unfortunately, but fortunately, you guys have seen me on here in a couple of episodes, and I'm at 49, but I've totally been vulnerable. I've had tears on 2 of the podcasts. Who knew? But I appreciate you guys just letting me be vulnerable. And then for some of you came back to me and was like, oh my goodness, the fact that you were vulnerable, that allowed us to know that it was okay to be vulnerable too. So I'm so glad that I was able to show that in a very genuine way. And then you guys just responded just brilliantly. So very nice and kind. Either way, right? All right. So thank you for that. All right. So just know that authenticity is a magnet for meaningful connections. Because boy, did I get some after having those little sad times during my actual podcast. Because I didn't know that it was going to come about, but you guys made me feel so special and I just kept going. So thank you. All right. Gift number 3, create community with purpose. What do I mean by that? Well, focus on offering value and building relationships. That's what I do in all 3 of my businesses. And it's been such a blessing. I've got business partners, like 2 or 3 of them, just from creating that whole community with a purpose. All right. Also, consider just like how you can cultivate community throughout your actual journey. That's going to help you as well as someone else. All right. Gift number 4 is stand tall in the middle of challenges and setbacks. We've all been through it. We're all going to continue to have challenges, right? That's just the real of it all. But instead of like seeking setbacks or seeing setbacks as like failures and things, just kind of view them as learning experience. And I think Coach Crawley Spann, she, mentioned this a little bit as well. See them as experiences because your journey will actually it'll have its ups and it will have its downs, but it will be so very helpful to just simply see it as a win either way. Like, be optimistic for the most part, even if it's a negative thing that takes place. All right. You'll learn to just rise above all of the negativity when you do this. All right. So last but not least is number 5, gift number 5. And that is be a leader with vision and compassion. Very important. All right. So just think about how you can encourage and support others. All right. You don't have to be salesy in any way or things like that. Just support others. So, like Sylvia Crawley Spann has shown us the power of standing tall within this episode, right? Not physically, but in our actual confidence, our purpose, and our communities. So she did a brilliant, thing with that, with explaining things. So let's just see these challenges to move forward for the most part, all right? With determination, to be fearless, and throughout our journeys. All right. So let's just take these challenges and move forward with all the determination that you have within you. Don't forget that. Remember, being an entrepreneur is about faith, first and foremost, resilience, and the courage to be unstoppable. You got this. I always say that because you do. All right. All right. Challenge time. I like to give a challenge. So I challenge you to identify one specific action to take from today's episode. All right. And reflect on how this actual step has brought you closer to becoming fearless. I know we all have one that we can do. All right. It has reflect on it for becoming fearless and unstoppable. All right. In your actual journeys, in your 9 to 5, as an entrepreneur, whatever you are doing, right? Feel free to actually DM me and share it directly. I would love to hear about it. All right. So we have reached the end of this episode. I am so grateful for you guys once again for just listening in. Go back and watch it if you missed it. But again, if you're tired of being tired, like I am, please join, and I'll say this again, our newly built platform and Facebook group called Empowered and Crowned Women on a Mission to Inspire. All right. Where we uplift each other and share stories of faith and resilience. You guys, it's a space where you'll find encouragement and support from like-minded women who are walking boldly in their faith as well as in their purpose. So excited about this new group that I've started on Facebook. Please join it. For those of you all who are already members, by the way, myself and my co-partner, Maisha Miles, will be conducting a live show. It's through the Facebook group. So if you signed up, you'll be able to get that information. But it's about clarity. And we're going to give you steps on how to have clarity with what you're doing. Because like myself, I didn't always have clarity, I had to take these steps and really dive in to be clear on what I was doing. And that's what's helping me to excel even now. So it's going to be on clarity. It's going to be on December 3rd, 2024, okay, at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so PST time. And therefore, that will be 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm Eastern time. So all right. So December 3rd, hopefully you'll join the group, the Facebook group, so you can hear more about that clarity that we're going to be talking about, steps and just ways to get to it. All right. So set your calendars and your alarms now, please, December 3rd. So if you're not a member yet, please, you'll find the actual link to join in the Facebook group. And in this bio and the caption of the episode, I'll put it in there so you can join. It's also posted right now in the chat, you guys. So go ahead and get that if you would like to join it. Thank you to those who have already joined. We're going to be doing big things, so I can't wait. All right. So as always, thank you so very much again for joining this episode of the Faith Forward Fearlessly podcast with me, Jenée Hudson, the Uplifter. And don't forget to continue just moving forward and following me for ongoing inspiring content. It is much appreciated. Keep the faith. Always keep the faith. All right. And until next time, have a very blessed day and a prosperous year on purpose. Later.